Hi, I'm Brad Rooks from Deer Tech TV. It's been an interesting year between the pandemic with COVID-19 and our theory on this show, or our theme, was literally going to be going to these manufacturers, which you guys don't know. We know a lot of these people personally. They're deer hunters producing a great product because they want to make you guys better hunters. And we want to get behind the scenes. We didn't want to make it look like it was a TV commercial for 30 seconds. We wanted to get behind the scenes, show you how it's made, tell you a little bit of the inside scoop. But with COVID-19, we haven't had the ability to travel. So the community kind of came together. We're shooting some of our stuff here with prototypes. We're using product that we're not as familiar because it just came out. But we're doing the best we can. We're excited to show you what 2021 is going to be, because hopefully we can travel again, and we're going to get behind the scenes and show you guys the footage that was meant to be. I hope you enjoy the show.
This isn't just another 30-minute commercial. This is the people behind the products, the innovators, the engineers, the entrepreneurs.
Your ability to smell is gone. Wow.
This isn't just another hunting show. This is Deer Tech TV.
Welcome to Deer Tech TV. I'm Dave Gillane. This week, we're headed back to Indianapolis for the 2020 Archery Trade Show. We've got inflatable blinds, rangefinders, targets, and more. And then later, I'll be talking to Tom Rainey at Browning Trail Cameras about some of the features that most of us overlook when we set up our trail cameras. And on top of it all, we'll be hunting with Derek Dernberger from The Break this week as he heads to the Missouri woods.
Hello, my name is Brent Fader. I'm with True Timber. I wanted to tell you about a new blind that's being introduced to the market this year in 2020. It'll be available midsummer. The unit is actually inflatable. It's air-driven, air poles like this that are inside. The whole idea is when weather defeats your blind, wind, rain, snow, ice, and the unit folds like all blinds will, if that happens, just get it off it. They're super strong, stronger than any hub blind. It's faster to deploy. The unit will pack down and go into a small backpack. And to find out more, you can go to truetimber.com.
Hi folks, I'm Butch Thomas, the Sales and Marketing Manager for Morrell Targets. I'm excited today to introduce the new big high roller target by Morrell. 2 years ago, we launched the original high roller, which is a 13 by 13 by 13 target, but we have been asked over and over to come out with a bigger high roller. Guys, this thing will stop anything, any arrow from any bow, whether it be compound bows, crossbows, any speed. We have shot this thing 484 foot a second with a 10-point nitro crossbow. The arrow removal on this target is absolutely effortless, but it's stopping mechanical heads, fixed blades, field points, you name it, it does it. And the arrow removal is so super easy. If you'll notice, this target has just got an incredible amount of flex to it. It's the longest lasting foam that Morrell targets that's on the market, and we are proud to put our name on it. any of our targets that's got red foam is now the high roller foam. And these targets are superior, absolutely superior. Guys, check us out. Go to morrelltargets.com. We just have some phenomenal deals here, and we just thank you so much for your business.
Hey guys, Sean from Leupold here. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about a new product we've got this year, the RX Full Draw 4, which is a laser rangefinder that's really crafted exclusively for the archers out there. Now, if you're familiar with Leupold rangefinders, you know the Full Draw line's been around a while. That's why this is number 4. The Full Draw 4 takes things to the next level. We've added 2 awesome new features. First is the Archer's Advantage technology. And what that's going to do is take your arrow weight, velocity, and peep height and give you a much, much more accurate ballistic solution and true ballistic range for your shot, especially at high angles and at longer distances. You know, we're getting much more accurate information than a trigonometry-based line-of-sight rangefinder. And we've also got the flight path technology. What that's going to do is, say you're shooting 65, 70 yards at a target, or maybe even at a deer. If you go ahead and have a branch or something in your way, not uncommon in the woods, if the rangefinder senses anything in your flight path, because when it runs those ballistics, it's going to let you know you're not going to be able to get over an obstruction at that range. So it's really going to help you make just more ethical, smarter shots and really increase your chance of knocking down that deer next year. And you can get more information on it right now at leupold.com.
Deer Tech TV is brought to you by Scent Thief. Make the wind your cover. Base Map. Plan, navigate, share. Skull Hooker. Get your head on right. Browning Trail Cameras. Outdoor Edges game processing sets to do it yourself and save. And by High Mountain Seasonings. Make the most of your game meat. Okay, I'll admit it. When I'm out shopping for a brand new trail camera, I'm not sitting there reading every single feature on the box. Half of it I don't understand. But as it turns out, maybe I should pay a little closer attention. I had a discussion with Tom Rainey from Browning Trail Cameras where he actually told me that some of those features could benefit me specifically in my scouting goals as they pertain to the specific piece of land that I'm hunting. Here's what he had to say. All right, Tom, so I go to the store, I get a camera, I get my batteries, my SD card, I take it out, I decide whether or not I want video or images, and I slap it on a tree.
Yep.
What am I missing?
There are always a few overlooked features, and it doesn't make your experience any better or worse necessarily, but it can improve on the performance of the camera in terms of, let's say you use the adjustable trigger speed on our cameras. You can make it slower or faster. If there's a deer on a food source, a food plot, where he might be grazing through, if he's moving really slow, you want to slow the trigger speed down. And the reason you want to do that, you can take it out to 0.7 seconds, is if he's going really slow, picks his head up and triggers the camera, you might just have the nose. And every time I tell people that, they go, oh, I get that all the time. Yeah. Well, you can actually use this adjustable trigger speed, slow it down. His next step, his head is in the frame. All of a sudden you see the antlers, you know what the deer is. You can be like, oh, that's towers, or you can be whoever the deer is, flamethrower, it doesn't matter. You can identify him immediately with just a little bit more than a nose.
So what you're saying is a slower trigger speed could potentially help you actually get the deer in the frame.
Exactly. We've also got some cameras that have adjustable flash ranges. And if you're looking to preserve battery life, for example, we'll go back to a Texas example that we've used in the past. If you go out and you put a camera right on a feeder in Texas there's no reason to use a 120-foot flash necessarily, because all the deer are coming into the feeder. Pull it back into power save mode, save some of that power on that battery, and then you can have more battery life. You can actually save a few dollars on buying newer batteries and new replacements. And there's also technologies like time lapse, and I know that people have had that on their cameras for a while, but I don't know that a lot of people use it. And it can come in handy in larger fields when you've got like a long flat surface. Even if you just do it for a week or two, when you're really taking inventory, when deer are on patterns, because the deer's not always going to be in range of the detection circuit, because detection circuits are, 60, 80, 100, maybe 120. But in a lot of cases, I mean, if you talk about a deer that's 50 yards, which isn't that far, he's 150 feet out. He's not going to trigger your camera. So if at sunrise and at sunset, if you set up and use time lapse, you're going to get some of those images and be able to identify some deer that you might not otherwise be getting.
Okay, so let's go back a little bit to
Okay.
flash and night.
Okay.
Now, you know me, I dabble in photography a
A little bit.
Most guys that are buying trail cameras, they don't.
Yep.
What is shutter speed and why is it important at night for trail cameras?
It's important from the context of actually getting less blurry images. And that's probably not the best verbiage to use, but here's the gist of it. Trigger speed and shutter speed are not the same thing, and I think that some people assume that they are. And the difference is the trigger speed is as your subject matter is walking into frame, when it triggers,
Yep.
that's when the picture takes. So trigger speed, 0.15 seconds, it comes in, bang. Shutter speed is a lot more important in terms of the quality of your image. Now, what you've got with shutter speed, especially nighttime images, is if you've got a really bright flash, you can speed up the shutter. So the shutter is open for a shorter amount of time, receiving light, taking the image, and gives it less of an opportunity to blur.
Right, so you get a clearer image.
Exactly.
But that may not be important to everybody, right?
Correct. Some people are just looking for body count. They know that they've got this big 8, and it doesn't have to be like photo quality. It doesn't have to be a poster.
Right.
So you can pull it back to a mode like a power save mode where it's not quite as bright and it's not blasting out across there. It's going to slow the trigger speed down, but you're saving the battery life, and the image might be a little more blurry, but you're still getting the information you want if you're not worried about really having the perfect, clear nighttime image. So shutter speed does matter, and ours, like I said, is adjustable from the circuitry in the camera, so it will adjust itself. It's not something that you can actually do in the manual setup, but you want to pay attention to that with the brightness of the nighttime flash.
Okay, perfect. So last but not least, and this is something specific to Browning trail cameras, tell me about SD card management.
Okay, on the SD card management feature, you can actually turn it off or on the camera, and I always recommend on, and it gets overlooked with some regularity because it's already on the camera, and as you're going through, you've already done time, date, trail cam, and you've like set up 3 or 4 things.
Yep.
You skip those last few steps on the menu options. SD card management is important because if you want the most recent information, you need to turn that on. And the reason that you do that is in the SD card management feature, the way that that works is it will take the newest picture and replace the oldest picture. So you've always got the most current content.
So don't put your wedding photos on there.
No, wedding photos would be a bad idea. That would be a bad idea.
Gotcha. All right, awesome. Thank you very much, Tom. All right, there you have it. There's some awesome features that we usually don't think about. But don't go away. Coming up next is Derek Dernberger from The Break. This segment is brought to you by Outdoor Edge Knives and Tools. From field to freezer and everything in between.
This segment of Deer Tech TV is brought to you by Thermoset.
You're watching Deer Tech TV.
November 16th, it's opening day of Missouri gun season. My brother come into town to hunt, but yet he's up in the stand with me today in Illinois, bow hunting. He's doing the video on this afternoon. Those deer yesterday, they come in, the 2 spikes come in straight down this valley. That other buck come in behind me there. So I was like this, that spike was right there. My camera's over here on the right, and I was way up against the tree, and he was right there. That little bank you see right there, that's what he was walking up and got looking right at me. He was gonna come right here. We would have shot him if I'd have got good footage, but nevertheless, he spotted me and took off, so it's a nice night, about 50 degrees. We'll see what happens.
Back.
Down right there. Big 8-pointer, probably 140s, 150 maybe. Heart shot him, he's down. 50 yards. Kevin, thank you for coming with me, brother. I don't think I could have done it by myself because he'd come up so fast. I think you were sleeping up there, brother. I was sleeping. We got it done, baby. 20 yards. I saw him coming. He come the exact place that my buck last year come, except I was on that next hill over there. My buck that I killed last year walked out from the same place. Here it is. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. 3:40, and we're done. It's the rut, baby. They're moving. This buck's out cruising. He was probably locked down. The bucks have been locked down here in Illinois for the last few days. We haven't seen any bucks moving. All right, let's go check him.
Deer Tech TV is brought to you by Scent Crusher. Scent off, game on. Thermoset. Stay outdoors. Dead ringer broadheads. There will be blood. Browning. The best there is. And by Lifeline by Hunter Safety System. Don't climb without it. For hunting, shooting, camping, fishing gear, and more, go to sportsmansguide.com. They sell all the top brands in the industry like Carhartt, Leupold, Browning, and Boulderton, all at unbeatable prices. For everything you need to outfit your outdoor passion for a lot less, go to sportsmansguide.com.
This segment of Deer Tech TV is brought to you by Skull Hooker.
Back.
Down right there. All right, let's go check it. And broke my arrow off. Well, it's opening day of Missouri firearm season, but I'm over here in Illinois bow hunting. I got my brother with me running the camera. Kevin come in to deer hunt himself at home for Missouri firearm season, but it's a little slow at the house today, so he decided he'd just come over to Illinois with me this afternoon and do the videoing, and it certainly paid off. We got us a nice 9-pointer with a little sticker right here. Just a beautiful buck that I killed about 50 yards from my gun buck last year here in Illinois. It's just a hot spot right through here, and it paid off again. This guy come cruising through early. Bucks have been on lockdown over here, so I was hoping it's just a matter of time before they'd start breaking away and start looking for new does, and he must have been on his feet. He was on his feet. He must have been finished with his doe. He's looking for another one, but just a great buck. Come in at 20 yards. We heart punched him, and he ran about 50, and here he lays. So great buck. Super proud of him, And now we've got to get Kevin a buck in Missouri. It's a great deal.
Well, Derek, if Kevin's not available, you just go ahead and give me a call, all right? Thanks for watching Deer Tech TV, everybody. Be sure to tune in next week. See you then.